Hi David, I'm a film student.
Hello.
How are you? Have you had your morning coffee? I understand it's very early there in Paris.
No, I haven't had any coffee yet. The room service in the hotel hasn't started yet. So I'll have it when I'm finished with you all.
Oh great, well, sorry to, I hope you can get that coffee.
Yeah, the real bummer, I'll tell you.
So we've all kind of been blown away by Twin Peaks: The Return. We had a few screenings here at AFTRS, the film school. It was pretty special seeing the first two episodes unfold and also the season finale, which we saw on the big screen, which I know is important to you to see. Things very big sound. I was wondering, in the making of this series, did you, well, I've been learning a lot about how TM works. I was wondering, when you go on the set and you have your shooting schedule, you go about your day, do you introduce TM to your cast and crew? Is that something you use as a creative tool for your people you're working with?
No. When I go to the set, they're going to set to, make a film. And I meditate before I go to work. And then at lunch, I meditate a second meditation during lunchtime. Sometimes people say, what are you doing at lunchtime, going in your trailer like that? And so I tell them I'm going to meditate. Then they say, well, sometimes they say fine, and that's it. Sometimes they say, well, what is that? What is that? And they want to know about it. And if people want to know about it, I tell them. But I don't go around, trying to, talk people into, meditating. You can never force someone to meditate. I recommend it so highly to any human being, but at the same time, I don't go around, on a soapbox.
Thank you for that. Also, another question, just quickly. Does anyone also just, because I'll be handing over quickly, do you want to start lining up the other question? Cool. Okay. Thank you. I was also wondering about some stories, like from the Vedic literature, some epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. There's some interesting stories and characters there. Do you have you read those, and do you draw inspiration from something like that, or is that you just go about your business catching ideas in your own way?
I just go about catching them in my own way, but I read the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, which is a great book, and it's a thrilling book to me because I got lost inside of it, and I didn't know where I was. And it was a magical mystery tour, and I loved that book.
Beautiful. I'll have to read it someday.
If you read it, you're supposed to read it in 40 days. It's 1,200 pages, so you have to read it 30 pages a day average, and that's what I was told. And I barely made it. I finished it in the very evening of the 40th day.
Great. Okay, so I think if there's another question, I might hand it over to the floor. Thank you for your time. It was a great joy to connect with you, and yeah, hopefully hear from you soon.
All the best.
Hi there, David.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Pleasure to meet you. I have got a bit of a question in regards to failure. Especially like for up-and-coming filmmakers like myself, I'm an aspiring writer director. I think what's so daunting at times can be like the sense that your work may not be, you get sometimes a sense of self-doubt. I think, and especially like from what I've read about how you had similar experiences with your film June, was TM helpful in terms of getting you through that experience, or as from what we've read, a bit of a failure? Or, I think the question is, how do you overcome failure as an artist when that comes about?
What is the word? How do you overcome what?
Overcome failure.
Okay, now there's a whole bunch of things. I've had situations where it's sort of, I guess, what people suffering from post-traumatic stress go through. where nightmares in the sleep, nightmares, and when you wake up, it's worse than the nightmare that you just woke up from. So it's transcendental meditation allows any human being to dive within and transcend. That means experience this field that underlies the whole field of relativity. Everything in the field of relativity has a lifespan, but this field that underlies it is eternal. It's pure consciousness. It's the big self with a capital S, know thyself. It's totality, it's the source, it's the reality. It's always and forever been there. It's our big friend, it's our home, it's the self. And when you experience it, you start infusing some of that. You really begin to expand whatever consciousness you had to begin with. And the qualities of this consciousness are unbounded intelligence, creativity, happiness, love, energy, power, and peace. All positive. Common sense will tell you that this, when you grow in that, those all positive qualities, it's going to make life better. And it gets you through those really horrible things that can come along. Instead of committing suicide, you make it through. It's our big friend. And it serves the work. It serves all relationships. It gives you energy. People are so fatigued and tired and stressed these days. The side effect of expanding consciousness is negativity starts to recede. So people see things like stress and tension and anxieties and hate and anger and fear, depression and sorrow start to lift away. Gives you a huge sense of freedom. So when you practice transcendental meditation, you can picture it as gold coming in from within and garbage going out. It will get you through the failures, and it will make you enjoy the successes all the more. It'll give you self-assurance, self-sufficiency. You'll be boogieing. The world will look better and better. You'll have this inner happiness. You'll go get them. And it really won't matter. If you are true to yourself, a failure cannot hurt you. If you sell out, a failure can kill you.
Thank you. Thanks so much, David.
You bet.
Hello, it's David.
Hello.
I'd just like to ask a question when it comes to your sort of like how painting was really what got you into film when it comes to like moving images or like moving paintings. And I sort of really want to like ask what have been like your sort of like favorite artists when it comes to like your creative process. Sort of like looking at your early works, how like the short films, how you could see like elements of Francis Bacon or like Robert Rauschenberg. So I was sort of asking what have been your sort of your favorite?
I love Francis Bacon, a huge influence, but I always say my biggest influence is the city of Philadelphia. That's got Francis Bacon and a whole bunch of other painters, combined, and an amazing, terrible place. Yeah, sure thing.
Hey David, I've got a kind of similar sort of question. I'm quite inspired by how you work across so many different. Oh, I plunged into darkness. Cool. How you work.
What happened?
I think the lights just timed out or something.
Yeah, you're completely disappeared.
Incredible. Yeah, I really love how you work across. Here we are. Hello.
Yeah.
Many different formats and mediums, and I was wondering if for you working in that way you find different practices kind of trigger different things in your brain and give different kind of forms of satisfaction, because I'm always drawn to like tactility in different mediums.
Yeah, it's that way, but I always say I go by ideas. So if I get an idea for, I always say if I get an idea for a chair, for instance, then you get a thrill because you see the chair in your mind and the way it's built, the way it looks, what it's made of, and then you go and get to build it. But sometimes in building a chair, you could get ideas for other things. And so all these different mediums can feed one another. And I always say that every medium is infinitely deep. So when you start working on one thing, you get to know it a little bit by more and more and more. It starts talking to you. And then pretty soon you're getting into there and discovering all kinds of things. It's a thrilling, all the mediums are thrilling.
Cool.
And they can give you ideas for many things, yeah.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Good deal.
Hi, David and Kyle. I love how your films or your projects uncover a side to the American unconscious, and I'd love to do something similar with Australia. So I was wondering, how does your socio-historical kind of cultural context feed into your creative process and to TM?
I don't think about showing anything about America. I say that the world can conjure ideas, but ideas can come seemingly from, they could conjure, the idea could come, they conjure some past thing or some otherworldly thing. It doesn't always just come from the world. But the ideas come, and sometimes an idea comes that you fall in love with. And so once you fall in love, then you know what you're going to do. And I'm not thinking about showing anything about anything. I'm thinking about translating the ideas, and that's the ideas that I love. That's it. So it would be like you would just be thinking, and in Australia, and you start getting ideas, and you write them down, and a story starts emerging, and pretty soon a script starts coming, and then you realize, oh, this is showing something about the deeper levels of Australia. It's the cart in front of the horse, the other way, to me.
Cool. I love it. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Hi David.
Hello.
I've been practicing TM for a few years, and I wanted to ask you a question about TM and ideas, because sometimes I'll be in a meditation and an idea will pop in my head, and I know you're supposed to let the ideas just come, but then it's sort of, should I leave the meditation and go and work on the idea, or should I stay in the meditation? Like, how do you manage that process of getting ideas and then working out whether to write them down, or what do you do?
That's a really good question, and that question, John Lennon in India in 1968 asked Maharishi the exact same question. He says, Maharishi, I'm meditating away and I get these ideas. What should I do? And Maharishi said, if you're down in there and you get an idea that you love, gently come out of meditation and write the idea down, and then go back in. You don't meditate to get ideas, but sometimes it happens that in meditation you'll get an idea. And the weird thing is, you'll think in the meditation, I'll never forget this idea, but then when you come out, because it's abstract down in there, it slips away, it could slip away. So gently come out, keep a pad of paper and a pencil, or a pen, and write the idea down gently, and write it in a way that you will understand it when you finish meditating, and then go back in and meditate.
Thank you so much, David. And
You bet.
I love Twin Peaks.
Thank you.